Lee here. So welcome to another, I just fixed my computer up here so I can see myself. That's better. So welcome to another Monday morning's training. I hope you all had an amazing weekend, but today I'm going to actually sit down and I'm going to go through some of the technical software that you need when you're looking at creating your online courses. Now, I was very fortunate on the weekend. I was asked to present this presentation to a group of trainers, and I thought, what a great idea to present it as well within my own community as well. So, like when I first started my, I suppose my business, online business, I really didn't know what software to use or what software I shouldn't use. I kind of had no idea. So it took me a long time, like almost like walking in the dark and struggling to try and find out what software I should use, how it all integrates together, and also to find the software that was very user-friendly, because I'm not a techo person, but I understand, I suppose, how it all works together. And the thing is, I don't want to be a techo person, so all the software that I use is really drag and drop and really easy to use. And as I was talking to the people on the weekend, if I can do this stuff, anyone can, because as I said, I'm not a tech savvy person, but sometimes it really scares us because we're not used to different things and sometimes we can break things and whatever. But I think it's about knowing and having a good idea, an overview of what's important that you do need to have certain software. Because when I first started, I used a lot of software, then I discarded it and I got frustrated. So these are the secrets that I use now in my business. And through this automation process, it makes it really easy for me to run my business because I've automated everything and sat down and had to learn. Of course, when you bring every software package in, you have to go through that, you learn it yourself. That's that time where you feel really frustrated and you want to give up. But that's a normal learning process when you're doing something different that's outside of your comfortable zone. So with this, I'm going to get stuck into the stack and we're going to go through those slides. So let me jump on my computer, swap over and see if I can go through the slides with you. Okay, so in front of you, you should see the complete stack, the stack in front of you. So all these articles, all these things are got to fit together. So one of the most important questions to ask is, will they all speak to each other? Are they all compatible? Are they all friendly? So will they integrate with each other? And that's a question I always ask before I select anything. I've got to look at my future, my direction that I want to go for. So you may not necessarily have to purchase all of your software straight up, but you have to have an understanding where your business wants to go to. So you kind of get an idea of this is this is the software stack that I need as my business grows. Because if you select something that's not going to integrate with something else, then what's going to happen is you have to redo that or get rid of that, discard that, and upgrade to a different software. So the first question I always ask myself is, will all my pieces of software talk to each other? And that's what I always do, because every time I bring on a new platform, I will reach out to the support team and I'll say, I've got this platform, that platform. Will they all integrate with your software package? So I'm always asking this question. I'm asking the experts because, obviously they want to sell me the software. So they will, give me the customer service and they will answer those questions for me. So that's the first thing I do. So to begin with, we have to have a platform. We have to have a shell. So we think about building a house. So we've got to have a shell. So the shell has to sit somewhere. We've got to put it somewhere. So what we have to do there is we have to look at our, what is our hosting, where are we going to host our shell? Where are we going to actually put our home? And that's called hosting. And firstly, we have to buy a domain name and we have to host it somewhere. I highly recommend SiteGround. SiteGround Hosting is located in America. A very good support, 24-hour support, really, really good. I'm impressed. And you can do live chats, so you can talk to them straight away. So very, very good support and not expensive. I think it's about something like $10 a month or something like that. So not expensive at all. But the main thing that I look at every time I select a software to use, I look at, is there support? It has to be support there because, if things go wrong and you're using a software package with no support, it's going to take you hours to try and work it out. So always look for support and use the support as well. Don't be afraid to reach out if you need help in whatever you're doing. So I highly recommend SiteGround. So let me go through the other slides as well. I'll just flick it over. Okay, so when I'm then I have to go to. I've got my domain name. I've got my name. I've got it hosted somewhere. I can choose using WordPress.org, or I can choose Wix. Now, WordPress.org, not WordPress.com. Make sure it's .org. A lot of sites I've been reading recently, and to be a good question to ask is, will they install that software for you as part of the hosting package? Because some actually will. And I'm not sure if SiteGround does or not, but they will. So you have to have I suppose the coding for your website, which sits in the WordPress, or you can use Wix. Now, I don't like using Wix because with Wix, again, you've got a monthly fee. They're going to charge you more money on top continually to use Wix. Whereas WordPress.org, it's a free, costs you nothing. And of course, that's going to host it up there as well. So the next stage is deciding, are you going to go for Wix? Which I think Wix may have some more templates. But what I've done is I've gone to the next stage and I've created a builder on top. So I like WordPress.org because I don't want to be paying monthly fees forever. I'd rather get the version of WordPress.org, have it, and it's also my asset. So if Wix ever closed down or anything like that, you would lose that asset as well. So let's go to the next one. The next one I want to talk to you a little bit about is, which I find is extremely important, and that is the builder. Now, this is the crucial part of it. So we've got our coding, which sits in WordPress.org. Now, my builder, I want to have my builder with no coding in it. I want to have my builder so I can actually change things. I can modify things. I can delete things. I can add. I can put my landing pages there. I can do everything I need to do myself. Because if they start creating banners and start creating these sort of things on your website, and you want to change them later, one, it's going to take you, it's going to cost you more money for them to change it because they're coded, you in everything else as well. So the builder is very important. I use is Thrive Architect. I've used a lot of different builders. I find Thrive Architect the goal, the Rolls Royce. The reason being it's drag and drop, is easy to move around. I can change everything on my banners. I can also store all my landing pages there. That comes with your sales pages and things like that. So the difference between, remember we talked previously, the difference between a landing page and a website is a landing page has no navigation buttons. So what happens is you store it all on your website, but obviously you select the template that has no navigation buttons. So nobody can find that page unless you've set the URL or driven traffic directly to them. So I like to be able to do both on one website because I like to keep all the assets there. The other thing is Thrive Architect. They have an area that you can do courses, and you can host all your courses on there as well. So when you start developing courses, you can host everything there as well, which is a big tick for me because I do a lot of online courses. As well as that, you can send out pages to your clients and they write testimonials, and it goes straight into the website. It's amazing. It's all automated. It's a great marketing tool. Everything there is amazing. You can shift and turn around and move around. Highly, highly recommend Thrive Architect as your builder. So keep in mind, you've got to select a builder. And if someone's developing your website, and they're using coding, as I said, you can't change certain things. Like you can't change banners, and things like that as well, which you might want to do because, you may pivot or you may change the audience that you want to move towards as well. Because being in business, often we gain more clarity whilst we're actually doing and achieving. So really start thinking about that as well as what type of builder that you're going to use. Recommend this one. And I'll go to the next slide. So this one is looking at what type of product creation platform are you going to use. So remember I said I use Thrive, so I don't have to worry about this. But if you're not using Thrive, there's different platforms that you can create your information on. One is called Teachable. There's other LMS. There's all different sort of ones. So you just do a bit of a search. As I said, the reason why I don't like Teachable and all of those is it's not your platform, it's not your asset. And if they decide to raise the monthly fees or things like that, you kind of held it hostage. Again, reoccurring costs and everything else as well. That's why I like to have everything together, so I don't have to worry about that. But if you're going to do courses online, you need to have some sort of course platform that you can put them online. LMS is, a lot of people use that. They use Teachable, and I'm sure there's other ones as well, but I would stay around for that. But whatever platform you use, again, every decision you make, always think about, is there going to be support there? Is there training videos there that will help me to look at all the features that I can use so that I'm using all the features off the software? So most of the places that I use, they have training libraries, and you can call up, you can start looking at, like you might want to go, okay, I want to do I want to start using testimonials as marketing. They actually, like Thrive actually gives you training videos of how to do that automatically without you having to send anything out and all that. So it's pretty exciting. So looking at where you're going to put your course creation. So here's an example. Here's an example that I've done. So this gives you a bit of an inside of Thrive Architect. You may not see this very well, but if you want a copy of these slides, you can just PM me, or you can put an emoji under the video when you're finished, and I'll give you a copy of all these slides as well. I've done them as a PDF form, so you know them. So this is a bit of an idea of what it looks like in using Thrive. Here's a really good strategy. So you have your dashboard, which has all your courses put on the dashboard. And each course is protected, has protection around it. And that's created by a product called MemberPress. So you need a protection of your pages. So what happens is when someone signs up for a program, you give them a membership ID and everything else. And then these programs, it checks to see if they're being actually enrolled into that program. So that's how it protects it. But when you look at the dashboard on here, anyone can go to the dashboard. So anyone can see all of my courses. And then they look at those courses and they can click on the courses and they can go into the first page of the courses. That means they go into the intro, which is amazing because therefore they start seeing part of the course. But they can't get any further unless they've subscribed to that course. So it's a really good marketing strategy because someone may be doing one of my courses and they've subscribed to it. Then they see these other courses, they go, I wouldn't mind doing that as well. So it's about putting it out there in front of it. That's why I really like the Thrive Architect. I'm not too sure the other ones will actually do that, will actually allow you to see the intros and things like that. But again, thinking of your strategy as you're selecting the software. This is where your secure membership has to be in. As I said, MemberPress, I use MemberPress. I like MemberPress. Again, whatever software you use, you've got to make sure that there's certain pages that only subscribers can access those pages on your website. So that's simply set up. Once the security is done, you'll have the membership name. So, for example, if I'm running Tribal Building Secrets, I'll have the membership name of Tribal Building Secrets. So then everyone who joins my program, I'll give them access to Tribal Member Secrets, right? So again, you need to have that integration there to protect your pages so other people can't view it unless they've got a membership. Now let's talk about video protection. So most courses today, there's video. So obviously you need all the equipment to record your video. All you really need to record your video is your webcam, really, and record your videos of your courses. And then, of course, you're going to create your activity sheets, your PDFs, etc. But then the issue is where do you put your video? Where do you upload your video? So you can upload your video to YouTube, and you can make it unlisted. So unlisted means that the public cannot find it. Only people that have been given the URL will be able to find that video. Now, of course, people can share that URL to other people. So anything we do on the internet, there's not 100%, I suppose, guarantee that people can't be unethical with your programs and things like that as well. Now Vimeo and Wista, the high premium makes it a bit more harder for them to do that, because also on YouTube what you can do is you can mark it private, but private means that you've got to update the password all the time for people to access that. So people have to have the password, and you know what it's like. You got a lot of members on your program. There's always going to be people who are going to be emailing you and saying, "What's the password? I've forgotten the password." So it's going to give you more work to do that as well. I use unlisted. I just think that if people want to share my stuff with other people, they're just not ethical. But at the end of the day, I'm not focusing on my fears. I'm not focusing on scarcity. I'm focusing on ease of my business to run. At the end of the day, anyone can share your information anyway. All they've got to do is print screen. That's all they have to do is print screen and share it, and then do it. So all your videos and anything else should have your logos on it. It should have some sort of information on it, so if people are sharing it around, they can see that it's your information, not their information. So everything should have your logos on it. And then I think people buy courses because they want to work with the individual person anyway. The extras that we do. So doing extra things like your live Q&As and everything else, and all the extra stuff that you do in the courses will actually, I suppose, make you stand out a bit as well. But don't get caught up in the fear of being so protective, because at the end of the day, most information that we give out, it's not mind-blowing. I've never heard of that before. It's just that what happens when people do your course, they learn the complete system. They learn the complete system and what's lying underneath it and how it all comes together. So think about how you're going to protect your videos. So the next one is, how are you going to deliver? So you've got your membership price, you've got your memberships, everything's happening. How are you going to deliver? So are you going to do, like, for example, audio? Are you going to do workbooks? Are you going to do video? Are you going to do activity sheets? Are you going to do assessments? Are you going to do all of these things to look at? So what I think is really good to work with is always do your video and then strip out the audio and make it an audio as well, because we know a lot of people like to listen and do things at the same time, such as they may be driving their car. and they want to listen to your audio. So all of my programs, I've stripped the audio out, and I've actually then give them a video version and also an audio version. And then it's very important to give them a tool to download so that they can actually consolidate the information as well. So this is where you can put on board your either assignments or assessments or activity sheets or workbooks or whatever. So you can load those up to your membership area as well. So usually you'll store those or all of those PDFs or the text information. You'll store that probably on your website, and you'll probably store your videos on a third-party website because of the volume that it will take up by storing it onto your website. And you also may have limitations to the volume as well. So start thinking about your delivery. Are you going to deliver it face-to-face, or are you going to deliver it online and do part face-to-face as well? Now, this one is about how are you going to process payments. So this is kind of really important. It's like you want people to be able to put in their credit card and buy the course straight away. So this is looking at, do you use Stripe, for example? It's a really good payment. It's a really good payment platform, and you integrate it because Stripe, they only charge you 3% of sales. And there's no monthly fee, there's no setup fee, there's nothing else. And I find it really, really good. Some people use PayPal, but the problem with PayPal is that people can get into their PayPal account and they can stop your payments from coming out. Whereas Stripe, they can't do that. So with Stripe, this is where if someone's credit card is being declined or stuff like that, Stripe will keep on trying to process that payment on a fortnightly, I think it's fortnightly, but regularly, up to about 3 months. So they'll keep on trying to process the payment out of that account, which is great because I've had some clients who ethically didn't do the right thing and their card was declined, but my Stripe automation caught them out a few months later and I was able to get that payment which they owed me. Because being a small business owner, we don't chase up people who, I suppose, owe us money, because to me it's too much time and I don't want that stress. But I try and make sure that everyone pays up front before they go on their courses and the payment's been processed. So I don't do very often, I don't do part-time, monthly payments or partial payments, because I find that's where I get into trouble, unless I know that person. But they have to put a pretty good deposit up front to actually me allow that as well. So your payment has to come in there. So you can see there's quite a few things to look at when you're thinking about doing online courses. But it's taking one step at a time. And as I said, most of these platforms that I've talked about, there is definitely editorials. There's online stuff. Then, of course, it gets even more complicated after that. You're looking at autoresponders, chatbots. You're looking at all of these other things, which is going to do all the keeping connected with your people on the course. Because we know a lot of people on courses, what they do is they lose motivation. So often, and we don't want to be ringing them every couple of days and say, do you need help? Are you okay? I've noticed that you're not doing this. You haven't been on the website for a while. So little bots and things like that, they can be set up. So they send messages out to our clients and they do it automatically. And they're kind of encouraging. Like I set my box out as though they're a little person and they tell jokes and they do everything like that. And they run around and they're trying to encourage the people to keep focused and to keep on moving forward with their courses as well. Because often we go look at, it's important to have people that are supported throughout the process. And of course, we might do our weekly Q&As or we do weekly stuff as well. But to have those bots and those emails running around behind the background on a daily basis, it allows them to feel like, it reminds them about doing the course and things like that. And of course, if it annoys them, all they've got to do is unsubscribe, or they've got to stop the bot. It's not hard to do. I think it's a really good way to keep that engagement going as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video today. It's going to go into the units area under Monday training. And remembering, if you do want a copy of the slides that I've talked about today, just put a, you can message me directly through Facebook, or you can just put a little emoji or something on the bottom, and I'll send you the slides as well. Hope you have a great week. I'll look forward to talking to you again, and I'll see you tonight again live at 5:30. Take care. Bye.